This is a quick run through on how I make espresso with the decent DE1 XL and the Monolith Titan Grinder. Today I'm using a medium to dark roast beans. So they're pre-weighed out already to 18 grams. We're going to be aiming for 36 grams out. Everything's calibrated, so I should be able to just pull this shot and we'll get exactly what we want. Timing wise, it should take around 30 seconds. Right, first thing I'm going to do is give the beans a little spray of water. This is to reduce the static as they go through the grinder. I'm going to start the grinder first, then pour the beans in. And then we use this Mr. Puff, it's called Mr. Puff, this little tool. He sits on top, and when the shot has finished grinding, we can puff the rest of the grounds. If there's anything left in there, we'll puff them out and they'll end up in the basket as well. So I think we're almost done. I'm going to rev the motor up to full speed to empty anything else in the chamber. So you get a little bit extra out there. And then give this a couple of puffs. Then we take off the chute, give it a few taps to get rid of anything else left in there. And sometimes just give that a bit of a brush. There we go. So that's the so there's the grounds. I don't know if you can see that. What we're going to do now, I'm just going to give it a stir just to break up any clumps that there are. So just give that a stir around. And then just a single forceful tap. So I've done 3 there. Usually it wasn't quite settled, so I did a few more than usual. Then we use this to flatten the bed of the coffee. There's not much pressure on here, it's really just to smooth it out. And then I'm going to use the force tamper just to tampen the bed there. There we go. Right, let's move on to the decent machine. Now I've got this set up on the classic Italian espresso setting. And so we're going to pop that under there. It's set to around 90 degrees. So yeah, let's get that started. So it's just getting up to temperature. And here we go. I'll click on in, I don't know if you can see that. Here we go. So we're aiming to keep the flow under 2 here, and we'll see. So once it gets started, you can see the pressure rising on the green gauge there. It's a 9-bar shot. And this is quite typical. The flow rate goes low and then gradually creeps up. But ideally, you want to keep it. You're aiming for under that 2 milliliters a second mark. There we go. So that took 29 seconds and it's 35.9, so 36 grams in the cup. Not sure if you can see that. And there we go. And that's it. Usually it's a little bit quicker than that because I'm obviously not explaining what I'm doing. It's still a fairly involved process, but it's worth it for what ends up in the cup. I hope you found this useful, especially if you've just got a decent machine or you've got the Monolith grinder and you're kind of looking for a typical workflow. yeah, so hopefully that was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.